Welcome to another episode of the Katrina Johnson Show, the inspirational podcast providing information and inspiration for your transformation. I'm your host, Katrina Johnson, helping you with your self-improvement and growth mindset journey. So grateful to have you as a listener. Thank you in advance for sharing, rating, and supporting my show. This podcast episode is brought to you by Living Life from Within, How to Get What You Want in Life. It's my uplifting guide full of inspiration to help you transcend life challenges and tap into your inner strength and divine compass. Are you seeking to unlock the abundant blessings waiting for you? Look no further. Dive into the transformative pages of my book where you'll learn how I was able to connect with the divine as my ultimate source and how you can do the same. You will not only learn to recognize the whispers of your inner voice, but also harness the power to manifest your deepest desires. Within the pages of my book, you'll be guided towards a deeper understanding of how to align your life with the divine flow of abundance. Let this book be your gateway to a life filled with purpose, fulfillment, and unwavering faith. Get ready to be blessed, informed, inspired, and transformed like never before. Don't miss out on this life-changing opportunity. Purchase your copy, and while you're at it, a copy for someone you may think may benefit from the book as well. Living Life from Within, How to Get What You Want in Life. To purchase your copy, simply click the link in the podcast show notes. Welcome back to another episode of the Katrina Johnson Show. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. So today's episode, I'm going to tap into mental health and talk about some of the things that we can do to stay on top of our mental health. It's easy to be impacted in a negative way when it comes to our mental health, just by the way life is, right? Just because of the stresses that we face on a daily basis. And I know that for me, if there are some things that I fail to stay on top of in my life that I know helps me to keep my mental state of mind, I could very well be in a state of distress when it comes to mental health. I have experienced, as maybe many of you out there, people close to me, loved ones that have had either addiction problems or psychological mental breakdowns. And it's not something that is easy to deal with, because as much as we want to help those that are going through mental health crises, it's difficult because sometimes it's more than what we can offer, right? It's more than the support that we want to give them. A lot of times it takes some deeper professional help. So first off, I just want to encourage you, or anyone you know, encourage them that if they are experiencing any form of mental distress and they need some support, to reach out and get that support that's needed. So how do I deal with my mental health? And how do you deal with yours? I'd like to hear from you. If you want to go ahead and send me a voicemail, there's a way you can do that. It's in the description of this show. If you want to leave me a voicemail on that, or send me an email. My email is announced in the introduction and or the close of this episode. Well, for me, to stay on top of my mental health, it's a daily thing. And one of the things I do is I move my body. And I've heard it said, and you probably have too, moving your body does things for your brain that you can't even imagine. And so, for instance, recently I've slacked on my walking. I have really slacked on walking for many reasons, no good excuse, but I'm back on top of it. And I did notice, though, that slacking in this area, I believe I suffered a little bit in my ability to be stress free. I mean, there's going to be some form of stress throughout our lives, right? But I'm saying that I was at a point, I say maybe a couple months ago, I was feeling the stress of life. I was getting very emotional about something that I think was not even worth getting emotional about, right? It was something that I just kind of look back and say, why did I allow that to upset me? And the only thing I could think of is, okay, well, walking. And I had been off of my vitamin D supplements. But the routine for me is walking. And the earlier in the day, the better. It just does something for my brain. So that is one way I tend to stay on top of my mental health. And like I said, when I am not on top of it, I feel it in other areas of my life. Another thing is journaling. Journaling is very important. I've journaled a lot in the past, maybe not so much recently, but what I do is I go back to my journal and I reflect on some of the things I journaled about. So, again, if you journal, that's great. And it is good to do it on a daily basis, but I am admitting that I don't do that on a daily basis. I don't think that's affecting me as far as my mental health, because what I do is I go back in my journal and I reflect on things. And then I'll add things from time to time. And a lot of what's in my journal are my affirmations. And so those I do read on a daily basis. So there are sometimes I might forget, or not forget, but maybe get off track because I'm busy doing something else. But the journal is there, and it's there for me to reflect on and also to add to it. Another thing I do is I talked about walking, but lately I've been stretching. And that is just something I've started recently doing, I think within the past year, not knowing how important it is to stretch, just stretching the whole body. And the older you get, the more important that is. So if I get up in the morning and just get going and, get dressed for work or what have you without stretching, I feel the difference in how my day starts. When I stretch, it is, I guess, in my own terms, it awakens my body. And again, that is also affecting my brain, because everything we do when we move our bodies, it is a direct connection to our brain. And scientists have proven this. I'm not a scientist or a doctor, so you can do your own research on it. But from all I've been reading or hearing, it does affect and impact our brains in a positive way. Another thing I do for my mental health is I do the things I like to do. I listen to music. I love music, and so I'll listen to music. And music just, it's universal, as we know. So whatever you like to listen to as far as music, try listening to music. Just kind of chill out and let the vibes of that music soothe you, relax you. Maybe it'll make you dance, sing along. I don't know. But music is very important, is a very important part of my life. And so that is another thing I do. Um, Another thing is just doing things like little projects, maybe around the house, something that helps me to like focus in an area, whether it's organizing a closet or something like that. It takes my mind off of the things that are might be tempting to weigh me down, as far as my mind goes, and puts it on something that is causing me to um, have that release of stress, so to speak. Because if I'm on a project and I'm just focused on doing that one thing, that's where my mind is at. That's where my focus is at. And so it's not on the other things, the other cares that would cause me to just sit around and mope or feel sorry for myself, so to speak. But I'm working on something, and it's kind of therapeutic. So those are some of the things that I do to relieve stress. Of course, I pray daily. That's number one. Another thing is I will listen to something positive. I do that daily anyways, constantly learning and improving myself. But then I will go to sleep listening to a meditative video and or recording audio and letting that go into my subconscious mind. And so then when I wake up in the morning, it just sets the tone of my day. So again, those are just some of the things I do. I like to hear about some of the things you do. And of course, if you know anybody that is in need of mental health um, services, I have a link in my description for BetterHelp.com. BetterHelp is a service that people can reach out to and get the mental health that they need. I am always looking for ways to improve my life and share with others ways to improve their life. And I hope that you do the same. Until next time, stay inspired. I want to take a moment to speak with you about BetterHelp, a sponsor of the Katrina Johnson Show. You know I'm big on inspiring people to live their best lives. But sometimes we need a little more than words of inspiration. When mental health interferes with your daily routine and lifestyle, you need someone to confide in that can help you with sorting through your emotions. That's exactly what BetterHelp is all about. It's professional therapy done securely online and is available to clients worldwide. With BetterHelp, you can get your needs assessed and be matched with your own licensed professional therapist. You can log into your account anytime and send a message to your therapist. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions so you won't have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room as with traditional therapy. It's more affordable than traditional offline therapy, and financial aid is available. Remember, living your best life begins with taking care of your mental health. BetterHelp, a sponsor of the Katrina Johnson Show, wants you to start living a happier life today. Visit betterhelp.com/KJ Show. That's BetterHelp, HELP, and join the over 500,000 people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. And here is a special offer for the Katrina Johnson Show listeners. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/KJ Show. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thanks again for listening. You can find me online at katrinajohnson.online, at I am Katrina Johnson on Instagram, and on YouTube, Katrina Johnson Inspires at The Katrina Johnson Show. Until next time, stay inspired.